Welcome to the first video for our at-home travel workout series. Today is a full body, so we're gonna be doing lower and upper body. It's only 20 minutes, there's 2 segments. So first up, you're gonna need something to elevate your foot. If you don't have something, that's fine, but if you have a couch or chair, you're gonna go for it. We're gonna be doing Bulgarian split squats, 40 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, and then we're gonna do a little bit of an upper body move. We're gonna put one foot back on our couch or our chair or the bench. We're gonna go nice and slow. We're gonna do each rep 3 seconds down and then stand back up. If you don't have something to elevate your leg, you can do these lunges just on the ground. So in a static position, that means you don't move your feet. You're gonna go down 3 seconds and then stand all the way up. And then we're gonna go into our upper body movement, which I'll show you during our break. So either your feet on the ground or you're elevating one leg, right? We're gonna make sure our hips stay pointed straight ahead. In 2 seconds, we're gonna start 40 seconds of work, 3 seconds down. And if you're like me and you started a little bit too far away, you can move yourself back. But we wanna control each of these reps as slow as we can. And you're gonna work on going as low as you can without moving or dropping your hips at the bottom. So if you're working on range of motion and you can only get to here before you stand back up, that's fine. 10 seconds left on this leg. Okay, 10-second break. Let's get ready to switch legs. So other foot comes up. We're gonna try and stay in the same position, hands on our hips, make sure they're pointing straight ahead, and 40 seconds of work. Get 3 seconds down. We're trying to keep most of our weight in our front leg. So my back foot's elevated, but the bench or your couch isn't really supporting, you're not pushing into that couch or bench. Okay, your front leg is doing most of the work here. 10 seconds. And rest. Okay, the next move in our 10-second break, you're gonna go into plank. So you're either holding a 40-second plank or you can put your palms on the ground and we're gonna shift our weight forward, keeping our core tight, okay? Starting 40 seconds of work. So this is loading the front of our shoulders. And again, you can choose how low you go. So maybe it's only a little push forward and then back at the bottom. So you're keeping your position as you push forward into your shoulders. 10 seconds left. Nice, steady pace. And rest. Okay, in our 10-second break, we're gonna get ready to go back to our Bulgarian split squats. I'm gonna show this one with both your feet on the ground. So 40 seconds of work here. Nice and slow, keeping our core very tight, trying to push through our front. And if your back leg's on the ground, you're pushing through your back leg as well here. I love tempo work because sometimes when you move too fast and you can't control it slow, you're not actually building the kind of strength we want. Any movement that you can do fast, you also need to be able to do nice and slow and controlled. One more. Good, and rest. Okay, 10-second break. We're gonna switch over to the other leg. Again, some of you are still doing it with your foot elevated. That's totally fine. Okay, here we go, 40 seconds. Keeping that core tight. Again, my timer is in front of me on the ground, which is why I'm looking forward, but you guys can see the timer on the screen. 10 seconds left. My legs are definitely starting to burn. Okay, let's do one more and rest. Okay, let's go back into our plank We're gonna get ready to go here in our 10-second break. Okay, so if you're doing the plank saws, we're gonna put our hands flat on the ground, get in a nice tight plank position, and then push forward as far as we can. But don't let your core go. As you push forward, you should be loading your shoulders, okay? Not letting your back sag or arch as you push forward. So you can choose how far you go, or you're just holding a plank in a static position. This is really hard as well. 10 seconds. And rest. Good. Okay, very last time, we're gonna go back to our Bulgarian split squats, or you're doing them with both feet on the ground. Okay, 40 seconds. So you're loading slow still. This workout, we're controlling all of our movements. We're almost there, 10 seconds. And rest. Okay, you have just enough time to switch legs in that 10-second break. Let's get our back foot up, get our hips pointed straight ahead, and 40 seconds of work. You can probably move a little bit forward on this leg. And you'll see if you're controlling the way down and you're moving slow, man, does this burn. We tell all of our members, fast is not always better, and more sweat is not always better. So if you're jumping around and not able to control it, we don't necessarily want that. Okay, let's rest, let's get back to the floor. Last time for our plank saws or your regular plank. 2, 1. And this time I'm gonna work on keeping my core as tight as I can, pushing forward. Seconds. These are definitely hard to hold. Sometimes you have to reset your feet. And rest. Okay, part 1, doing the same thing, 40 seconds of work with a 10-second break. We're gonna get right into our first exercise. So I've set my timer. Okay, we're gonna get in our squat position. We're doing a nice and slow air squat, 3 seconds down. Okay, we stand back up. I'm gonna turn my toes forward, hands on the back of my head, and go into a good morning. Okay, I turn my toes out to squat a little bit. I'm gonna do my squat slow, toes ahead, into our good morning. So 40 seconds, slow on the way down. I'm pushing my butt back, letting my knees bend softly into my good morning. Okay, controlling my squat. If you want an added challenge, you leave your hands on the back of your head to do your squat. This just stretches out our upper back a little bit more. And we rest, okay? In our 10-second break, we're gonna get into plank position and do a nice and slow mountain climber. So these are slow. We're trying to use our core to pull our knees up. I'm gonna touch my elbows, but you don't necessarily have to. And the clock has started, so we're just gonna keep going. 40 seconds. To make it more challenging, you try and pull your knees up even farther without your feet touching the ground. To make it less challenging, you don't pull your knees in as far. We have 5 seconds left. And rest. Okay, in our 10-second break, we're gonna go into another ab exercise. This one, we're gonna lie on the ground. Okay, I'm gonna put my hands behind my head and I'm gonna bicycle touch my elbow to my knee. 40 seconds. And you can take breaks whenever you'd like. 40 seconds of work does get pretty challenging. And rest. Okay, we're gonna stand back up. We're gonna get ready to go into our squat. 40 seconds, slow and controlled. Okay, we transition into our good morning. I squat back down. Okay, good morning. In the good morning, we're pushing back into our glutes. You should feel a stretch in your glutes and your hamstrings. I'm squeezing my butt all the way up. Okay, I'm repositioning for my squat into my good morning. Ten-second break. We're gonna go back to those very slow mountain climbers. Okay, these aren't the fast ones. That's kind of a different exercise. This is all about your core. So again, slow. We're trying to pull our knees up as close as we can to our chest, so it's harder on your abs. If you need to, you can point your toes just so your feet don't drag on the ground. We're keeping our core tight. I've tucked my tailbone underneath me just a little bit. So I set my core. Five seconds. And rest. Okay, in our rest, we're gonna go back to our bicycles. And I'll show you a modification to make this a little bit easier. So if my legs are out, okay, I'm pulling my knee into my elbow. If you start feeling this in your lower back, which we don't want, you can keep your knees bent, okay? And we just bicycle, leaving our knees bent. And this is really hard. If you felt the other one in your lower back, this is gonna reset your core. Whew. And you might actually feel this one more in your core than having your legs out straight, but it's up to you. So this one, knees bent, rest. Okay, one more time, we're gonna go back to the top, into our squat and our good morning. We'll keep moving, right on time. I'm still controlling my squat down. For these ones, again, we're not moving too fast. This is a full body, very controlled workout. I started sweating in round one. We're just gonna keep it going. And you have 5 seconds left. And we rest. Okay, very last time, we're gonna get back into our mountain climbers. Again, slow and controlled. In our plank first, making sure my shoulders are stacked on top of my hands. If planks hurt your wrists just a little bit, you can always turn your hands out to the side. It's a little bit harder on your shoulders, but alleviates wrist pressure. But if you can, hands straight ahead. You have 10 seconds left. These ones into the bicycle crunches are very hard. And rest. Okay, I'm gonna take the full 10 seconds and then we're gonna do the last set of our bicycle crunches. Okay, and I'm gonna keep my knees tucked on this one. A little bit more than the last one, just so I can really isolate my abs and not have to worry about my back so much. Let's see if I can make all 40 seconds. And done. Okay team, that was a nice fast 20-minute workout. We hope you enjoyed it and we'll see you for the next one.